So lots of you have been asking about how to measure the success of Agile in your team or your organization. And the headline is there's more than one way. I'll share with you now the principles that we use at Tilt and that could help you to measure the success of Agile within your world. The first and most important thing is the question, why do you want your organization to be more agile? So this is different for each organization and team. And whatever the answer is, it's really important that this is what you track. So, for example, why you want to be more agile could be so that you can deliver value more quickly. It could be around your internal ways of working. It could be about being more adaptable as an organization, more quick to deliver your ideas. It could be many, many things. The key is to be clear that Agile is not an end in and of itself. It's all about helping you to achieve the outcomes that you have set at your organization or your team level. I'm going to share with you now 2 examples of different organizations creating very different aims for embedding Agile ways of working. So Prostate Cancer UK have declared they are moving towards being an agile organisation. And the beginning of that journey was identifying what difference they wanted agile ways of working to make. And for them, it was all about delivering better products and services to achieve their mission. So that looked like responding to the market more quickly and more often, using their time and energy more effectively and efficiently, and becoming more customer focused. That's very different to the communications team at Amnesty International UK, who also got very clear at the beginning of working with us why they wanted to become a more agile team and embed those agile ways of working. For them, their team's goals were all around increasing digital campaign actions, increasing income via digital channels, as well as donor retention, while having no extra budget or headcount to do that. So the difference they wanted agile ways of working to make was all around efficiency to deliver those new goals with no extra headcount or income to spend. So here are some of the principles for measuring the success of Agile. As I mentioned before, it's all about agreeing your goal for Agile upfront. The next step is to capture your current baseline on this goal. Then be clear about the changes you make, monitor them, before finally step 4, comparing progress after your changes compared to your baseline. Here are 7 principles which we believe will help you to measure the success of Agile in a meaningful way in your team or organisation. Firstly, focus on the difference you want Agile ways of working to make. Is not about Agile for Agile's sake. Secondly, capture a baseline of where you're at against that measure straight away. If you haven't done it and you've already started work, don't worry, now is the next best time to do it, because you can't measure change without a baseline to compare it to. Thirdly, focus on the Agile principles and values. So measure change around those rather than measuring change around tools, processes, steps, structures, ceremonies, because that can often be a bit of a red herring. What you want to be measuring is, are your teams more focused on user benefit rather than measuring, do they do 15-minute stand-ups? Are they working in Trello, for example? Fourth, is measure behavior and actions, not how people report their progress. So when it comes to measuring the difference that you're making to your users or to your staff, it's all about making sure that you're measuring actions and behaviors rather than introspection or how people report their feeling or doing, because as humans, we're notoriously bad at that. Next, regularly inspect and adapt your measures and metrics over time. So this is all about being agile about the way that you implement Agile. So in the same way, your Agile measures should be agile. If you find that it's not working for you, it's not delivering the value you want, if you find that you're measuring a vanity metric or something that's drawing you in the wrong direction, it's hard to measure. Move on to something that you think is going to deliver more value for you. Next is develop your own measurement framework that is simple and delivers what you need. So I'm about to share with you a couple of measurement frameworks that you could build on, but we really encourage you not to copy and paste, but instead build on what others have done, because success will look different for you and your organisation or team to other organisations or teams. So we encourage you not to copy and paste. Finally, I'm going to share with you 2 example measurement frameworks which you can use to measure the success of Agile in your organisation. The first one is an example that was created from Zen Ex Machina, who are a large Agile consultancy in the Asia Pacific region. And what they did was they tracked behaviours by collecting their own behavioural data over time, observing hundreds of teams across the organisation, or the organisations that they work with. And they identified the improvements associated with Agile product management. So what you can see here in the diagram is the behaviours and actions that Zen Ex Machina saw that created a strong Agile culture. So they are around self-organisation, Agile values, sprinting, and continuous improvement. You can also see around them in that image a more specific breakdown of things that you could measure if you are particularly interested in that area, or you might pick a couple. So what's great about these is that they are built on behavioural data. So that can be a great place to start. Another way that you could go is that you could focus on the Agile values or Agile principles and track the extent to which individuals, teams, or leadership are displaying those values. The key here is to remember that you want to be measuring behaviour and actions, not how people report their progress.